Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents, and welcome back to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out my website, waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your certified Scentsy consultant, and a link to that website is in the description box down below. So today, I have my weekly What I Have Been Warming for you, and I have a whole bunch of goodies here on the table. So one of the days early last week, I was just feeling like I wanted fresh and clean. So I did Amazon Rain back in my Florida room and in the kitchen, and it was wonderful. And this is just this wonderful tropical jasmine and melon and really fresh green scent. And it is beautiful. It is kind of subtle, sort of medium light, depending on the zone that you put it in, and long lasting and lovely. And then in the dining room on the same day, I had hibiscus pineapple in, which is mandarin and hibiscus and some floral. So pretty. It's just like this juicy, sweet body care, floral, fruity thing. And then in this room, I had prickly pear and agave. And this is an incredibly fresh smell that has that succulent greenness and then a little bit of sort of a desert bloom background. And it's just clean and lovely and fresh and bright. So that was the best day, just the right balance of a little bit of fruity and a lot of fresh in ways that just made the house wonderful. So another day we ended up with pretty decent weather and I wanted more sort of beachy fresh scents. So I did Shoreline Drive, which is pretty strong. This one has passion flower and it's got like a sort of a sea foam, sea glass smell, a little bit of saltiness, and to me this is sort of like almost to a laundry or a sachet you would stick in between clothes kind of a smell mixed with fresh beachiness and that little bit of passion flower, which is so pretty. So this is good and strong, and I had a couple cubes of this going in different parts of the house. And then the rest of the house had mostly Daydream Oasis, which I love. And Daydream Oasis is another one of our new releases from this spring. And I actually need to pick up my catalog to get the notes on this one right because I don't remember them. So Daydream Oasis is sweet melon, pear leaf, and water lily. And wow, do I like this. Now I've heard mixed reviews from some of my other colleagues here on YouTube, but I love this one. To me, it's just perfect. It's not too strong. It's not too weak. It's not, I don't know, it's just right. And the scent profile for me is just that perfect watery green freshness that's almost tropical, but not quite. And I find it very appealing. And it's pretty good performer too, just nice medium. So, and then in the back room, I tried out my one bar that I got from the flash sale of Mandarin Splash. Now this ended up being sort of like a fresh, slightly citrus, almost cologne scent. Not very strong though, really light. It was very good. I said that I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get more bars. I'm sort of right on the fence with it, honestly, now that I've warmed it. It's very good, but it's got just this little bit more of a bite when you warm it than it does in the clams. So I guess I'm actually pretty good with just the one bar. It's very nice though. Okay, now we did have a couple more days that were incredibly cold. I think it was Saturday that I was filming the florals video that went up a couple days ago, and it was just cold and nasty. And so our whole family's like, we need bakery. So I did something that, although it's the wrong time of the year, my kids came out and I was flipping pancakes. It was Saturday morning and they said, it smells like Spicer's, which is the best, the absolute best place to get donuts and cider. It's a wonderful orchard in the fall. And I had to laugh and I'm like, yeah, you're right. It does smell like Spicer's orchard in our house. So to achieve that, I was doing an awful lot of apple cherry strudel. This was kind of all over the house. And I pretty much sacrificed an entire bar to get my fix. This is apple and cherry and this wonderful flaky pastry. And then in the front room, I had a couple cubes of butter pecan, and that was giving more of that nutty earthiness that you get in the fall when you go to an orchard. Because this has got that sweet roasty toasty pecan, and it's got sort of ice cream base and a lot of rich vanilla. And then of course you had to have some apple butter frosting to give that spiciness, because that orchard makes these donuts that are like crispy and creamy, and they're warm, and they have this like crusty crunch, and then the inside is cakey and soft. Oh, so the apple butter frosting gave that little punch of cinnamon sugar that's on those donuts, and oh my goodness, that combined with the pancakes was one of those scent memories that, even though it was the wrong time of the year, it was such a hug in our house. It was great. So then on another day earlier in the week when the weather was decent, I was sort of monkeying around with an odd combination. I really like Summer Moonlight. And when I first smelled it in January, if you go back and watch that review, I'm like, ew, yuck, I don't like this. Well, it's grown on me tremendously. It's so nice, but it's reasonably light, but the sandalwood and then the sweet pea and the strawberry, it's a really interesting combination. I wondered if a little bit of smokiness in another room, so this is Palo Santo, I've got a couple bars left of this, if that would be an okay combination with it. And I liked it. Now my family hates Palo Santo, so it doesn't matter what I melt it with. People complain, but I like it. Because this is smoky, but it's pretty light. So the sandalwood and all that was in the Summer Moonlight and this in different rooms, I wouldn't put them in the same warmer, but I liked that. But Summer Moonlight doesn't last a long time, so by the end of the day, I needed to throw in something else to keep that Summer Moonlight going. So I added some cubes of sugared strawberry in the same warmer on top of the Summer Moonlight, and that was great. Because sugared strawberry is my favorite strawberry scent that Scentsy has ever made. Thankfully, it's still in the catalog. I usually club it in the fall because I do really like it. So this mixed with this was beautiful. It kind of gave the Summer Moonlight a little bit more oomph, but you could still certainly smell this peeking through because this is much sweeter. This is a neat mix with the floral and that little bit of woodiness. And this is all strawberry with a little bit of lemon and currant, and it's super sweet, but it's really good. So that was a unique day where I don't know that everyone would like that combination going, but I was pretty happy with it. Okay, and another day I was trying out a balancing act for this bar, Make a Splash. This is a bar that I really don't love. People have said, try it again, which I'm always willing to try a bar again, especially if it's been a couple years. And I have it going, just one cube in one warmer, and then I'm balancing that with Mad for Melon, and I'm pretty good with it. Will I buy another bar of Make a Splash? Probably not. So I gave it the good old-fashioned try. There is still this note in that bar, that it's a sharpness. I see why people like it. It is very clean. It's a very good performer. The melon is nice, but there is some sort of a sharp note in it that I just don't love. Whereas I love Mad for Melon. So this one, and then in January or February, I tried Sunkissed Citrus, which in my memory was another one kind of like this, where I'm like, I don't think I like it. And I did not like that one on second try either. So I think for the most part, if I know in the past that I didn't care for it, I have a decent scent memory to say it's probably not going to be for me again. Although once in a while, I am surprised. So it was okay. I love the Mad for Melon though. That is fantastic. So that's just honeydew, freesia, and poppy. So it's sweet and very springy. All right. So then I have been looking through my stash and kind of taking stock of my Scentsy clubs because those things can get out of control in a minute, you know. And so I needed to rewarm Harbor's Edge. Oh, it's so good. I am not taking this out. So this has the salty sea air, it's got fern, it's got raspberry, it's got all these layered notes. And I would say if we get a chance to vote this back and bring back my bar, I don't know that it will come up for option for the fall winter, but if this shows up for spring summer next year, if you like anything that has to do with a summery beachside or a summery meadow scent, please vote for this. It's amazing. It's an incredibly good performer, and they've never made anything else that smells like it. So at the same time, I needed some Atlantic air, and that is much more gentle. I have that out here right now, actually. And this just goes and goes and goes. Smaller space is probably better, but it's this beautiful, just salty, elegant, lovely scent that has orchid and that fresh seaside air. Okay, and then another day I was feeling the bakery and I wanted to give this another try. This lemon drizzle cake is quite the interesting scent. So I have a brick. I'm actually about halfway done. I ordered another one in one of my Scentsy Club orders this month. I have about half a brick left of sugar cookie. Now right now you can't get this except in a brick with a club. This is the best mixer, and as far as just a really simple vanilla scent that isn't simply vanilla, which isn't available right now, if you're willing to get into having a club, sugar cookie is so darn good. It's got beautiful butter, beautiful cookie and beautiful vanilla, and it's light and happy, where vanilla bean buttercream is much heavier and more rich. They both have their place. They're both very nice, but I tend to reach for this more as a mixer. So this and this together in a couple different warmers. There's still this first half an hour with this lemon drizzle cake that I don't like, but as soon as that goes away, then the two of these together, they are one of those scents that I leave it in, and then I wake up the next morning. This has happened a couple times now. And I think, oh, I love that. So I have another bar of lemon drizzle cake coming just to mix it with sugar cookie, which I know is a little bit indulgent, but you know, this is what I do for a hobby and a living. I love it. So I will be doing that a few more times. And just to balance out the lemon with some really good solid lemon that doesn't have that funky note, I had a little bit of squeeze today and some other warmers, and it was just beautiful. It was a really happy day. So it's sort of lemon, fresh, little bit of sweet, little bit of sugar cookie, really good springtime bakery tart mixture in the home. Because right now, except for that day where it was still snowing, I don't really want to reach for my super heavy bakeries all the time. And this mixture, that whole sugar cookie lemon thing, was really good for spring. All right, then, because it was so cold, I had left my sugar cookie and lemon mix going into the next day at one point, and then I added, I always lose one of these things down on the floor. I took out some of the warmers that had sort of used up wax, and I added a whole bunch of brown sugar praline and 1 or 2 cubes of Cozy Spice. Now, these are very neutral bakery scents. I wouldn't say that these are fall or winter specific, although the Cozy Spice might be more pleasant in the fall, but this one, I'm having a lot of trouble with this bar. This bar is in my club. It's from a Christmas trio several years ago, but it is the most beautiful, just brown sugar, sweet, nutty, almost has a coffee background to its scent. I've never seen it come back in any sort of a voting for Bring Back My Bar. So it's one of those that I always say, gosh, do I need more of that? I don't melt it very much, but then I know I'm never going to see it again, so I don't take it out of my club. So this is a really, really comforting and relaxing smell. And it is just kind of like oats and honey as far as strength and longevity, and it's well behaved, it's relaxing, it's comforting, it's not too assertive. Very, very good smell. So, and then we have Cozy Spice. This is just a more gentle spice scent. So I'm more apt to reach for this during warmer weather than, say, the Cinnamon Bear. So this is just a mixture of fall spices, but there's no apple or anything like that in it. It's mostly nutmeg forward, and then it's got this creaminess to it with some vanilla and some gentle spice, and it is beautiful. And this was also in one of our holiday LTOs. This was in the Cozy Collection several years ago. And those are just good when you need spice comfort. So aside from that, I think all that I've got left here are things that I tried out in the bedroom, and then the same day that I was doing bakery, lemon, and all that in the front room, I threw in a couple cubes of sweet plum pastry in the back room. I had the Mandarin Splash back there at one point. I had the Amazon Rain, and then this went for a day or two just to bring in a little bit of bakery comfort. And this is plum crust, bubbly juices, beautiful. You hear me talk about it a lot. We use a lot of it. So in the bedroom, because I did the florals video this last weekend, I was doing all sorts of different florally things. So the first one that I tried was Blue Hyacinth, and this is a beautiful smell. It's super strong right out of the gate, and it smells just like a pot of hyacinths. But what was really interesting, and I meant to finish this thought in my florals video and I didn't, so I'm gonna do it today, is that after this had been in my bedroom for a day, I started to smell the base of Mahalo Coconut. They are very similar after they kind of die down. So Mahalo Coconut's supposed to have pineapple, coconut, lei, and violet. And this is supposed to be hyacinth, but oh my goodness, I think that they have some of the same base notes, because that creamy, almost like a blue spring flower. It's the only way I can put it. It gives you this impression of springtime and that freshness in the air when you walk outside, and it's almost like it is so clean and so wonderful. Like there's a sharpness, but it's not unpleasant in the air. Both of these do that by the time that they're kind of in their die down stage, and it was lovely. So I had Mahalo Coconut in another day just to kind of compare it. because I thought I was getting that, that note out of the end of Blue Hyacinth. Absolutely. So if you can't get Blue Hyacinth, you're not going to get that first burst of floral, but it shares some similarities with Mahalo Coconut, which is this creamy, beautiful mix of floral and fruit. So then another day I did Iridescent Pearl. Now, this is one that I have tried and tried again, and I do like it better this time. And I believe it's Robin H. She has the darling little girl. I think she calls this the mermaid scent, her little one does. And I can see that because when I was melting this in my bedroom the other day, I'm like, you know what? She's right. This reminds me of aquatics very much. It's got lotus, it's got, ooh, that's the wrong one. Apple blossom, water lotus, and mango. Now the mango is very subtle. I think this would be really pretty in alternate warmers in a smaller space with, say, go-go mango, which I think I'm going to try. But this Iridescent Pearl was better than I remembered it. I put 2 cubes in my stone leaf warmer in my bedroom, and it did well enough to be really enjoyable. So I will repurchase this, and this one was right on that opinion chopping block for me for sure. So that was a very good thing. And then last but not least for today, I did a day of Bloomin' Beach in my bedroom, and it's beautiful. This was one of the Mother's Day collections, I think last year. And it's so pretty. It is a mix of outside seaside air with roses, almost like the roses are on a fence and you're walking by and you get that blast of beautiful fresh air off of the sea. Lovely. So that is what I have been warming this week. Now my question for you this week is, what do you like to pair a lot in your home? I tend to pair fresh with fresh or bakery with bakery, but do you have like a particular recipe, so to speak, that is a winner in your house where you put certain things in certain rooms and you do it often because you just really like the performance? Because as we're getting into the middle and then the end of this month, I'm starting to prepare a performance video for the warmers, different rooms to put different things in and stuff like that we'll do right at the end of the month after the whole series on design styles. So I would like to pick your brain on what is it that you pair often and why do you go back to it over and over again. So have a great day, guys, and I hope that you are melting lots of wafting, wonderful wax. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.